Hey everybody, Sammy here at SFI Sports Cards, back with another video. Today is March 15th, and I want to start out this video by mentioning a couple baseball names who's celebrating a birthday today. We'll start off with Hall of Famer Harold Baines, born on March 15th. Also, a very talented player in his own right, Mr. Bobby Bonds. I believe this card is the only one he has in a Cardinals uniform. A couple others celebrating a birthday. I didn't fish out their cards, but the Greek god of walks, Kevin Youkilis. Also, from the 1980s, former Yankee third baseman Mike Pagliarulo, and also Mickey Hatcher, who became an unlikely power source for the Dodgers in the 1988 World Series. You know, if it wasn't for Orel Hershiser dominating the whole postseason in '88, I think Mickey Hatcher probably would have won the MVP of the World Series. But next, how about some channel shout-outs? Couple channels that I frequently watch. First, we have Stuke's Baseball Cards and Curiosities. He has just surpassed 100 subs and is holding a VR contest for local sports heroes that have come through your areas and hometowns. Check out his channel. And also another great channel. That would be the Drew Vintage Legacy. He has surpassed 200 subs and holding his own VR contest, where he would like you to show 3 players that has never won a championship. So, I don't know, I think it might be exclusive to baseball, which would be 3 players that have not won a World Series. But show 2 Hall of Famers and 1 non-Hall of Famer. You know, please consider making an entry for both contests, and more importantly, be a constant viewer to their content. One thing I take away more than anything from their channels is that you will learn something. Learning? Who knew? No, it's so much more about just showing cards and memorabilia. And I think that gets lost in the hobby. And something I'm drawn to, which actually transitions to a couple things I want to show today. First, I picked this up a little while ago, and that is the 1969 edition of the Baseball Encyclopedia. This is the first year this reference was published. And this is right up my alley, I gotta tell you. Filled with stats and leagues and teams dating back to baseball's infancy in the mid-1840s, where the very first game was played. Filled with a wealth of baseball knowledge, historical background, player and team registries. This thing's got it all. This also has, let's see, All-Star Game stats. And amongst other things, it has World Series box scores. Pretty amazing. And also another edition, which is pretty cool if you ask me, Manager Registry. So all the managers of this wonderful game. So this is 1969, so it will be stats up to 1968. Now this looks very overwhelming, 2,350 pages, but I guess it's how you break it all down with what's given here. I could tell it's going to be a very enjoyable read. I started it about 20 pages in, and just taking in all the amazing history of the game. And if you don't want to read it, just by the weight and look of it, you can tell it's very much a multi-purpose item. Do what you will with it. Second, I will be starting another book of this Ted Williams, An American Hero. Now this one, I'm more intrigued by his military career more than his exploits on the field. So can't wait to sink my teeth into this one. You know what else I get out of reading baseball books is they mention a lot of players in them, as you will probably anticipate if reading a book. That gives me more knowledge, and that way I can look up players for cards that I normally would not. So another way that books can be useful. So next, I want to show you a new card that I recently picked up. Now, I'm trying to get back into collecting Hall of Famers' last playing day cards. This is a great way to collect Hall of Famers without spending ludicrous amounts of your hard-earned dollars trying to get all rookie cards. But any card of a Hall of Famer is a good one. And I've seen many collectors go this route of getting last cards. And I like it too, because sometimes you'll see players in uniforms that you wouldn't associate them with, as they were picked up by clubs for that last 1 or 2 seasons that a contending team might pass on them, as they were past their primes at the time. So I picked up this glorious, oh, I got it right here, beautiful, sexy and crisp looking 1989 Bowman Tiffany Mike Schmidt. And this card looks gorgeous. And not a card you see very often in the Tiffany version. You know, this, in fact, has only been slabbed between PSA and SGC under 50 times. all grades included. Only 3 times with SGC, and I plan on being the 4th. Now with SGC, all grades have been 8s. And I think this one is at least an 8. Great version. And one that I'm happy to add to my Tiffany collection, which is ever growing recently. So I'm very happy about this one. Okay, a couple other examples of last cards of Hall of Famers. Now I'm pretty sure I have more than I think, but I kind of knew right where these cards were, so these are the ones I pulled out. Now 1975 Topps or OPG, whichever ones you collect. They have a handful of Hall of Famers last cards in that set. I'm going to show you this Bob Gibson. Here's one. And also the Frank Robinson is another. Of course, people are familiar with these two. But, you know, this Bob Gibson, he is, of course, most notable for his 1968 season with a 1.12 ERA, which is a record for a single season. And, not sure if you know, but 6 players ended that season with ERAs under 2. And I figured, you know, since I got it right here, why don't we go to the Baseball Encyclopedia 1969 edition and check out who those players were. So the National League, they had 2, the Bob Gibson and Bob Bolin. In the American League, we have 5. So it was not 6 altogether, it was 7. American League had Louis Tiant, Sam McDowell, Dave McNally, Denny McLain, and Tommy John. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, hold your applause, I can count. So in 1969, they lowered the mound, and no one had an ERA above 2. So this wasn't solely because of Bob Gibson. There were other pitchers who dominated, and they were like, well, we need more offense. And I would have to say that that strategy worked. So, I'm going to tell you right now, looking that up was much more gratifying than jumping on Baseball Reference. And that comes from someone who might be on that site more than anyone on this planet, because I am on it all the time. So, yeah, that's where that book comes in handy. And I think this Robinson is the only playing day card that he has in this Indians uniform, which is pretty cool. I like that. So, we got another one, last playing day card of the great Johnny Bench, 1984 Fleer. Now, I consider this his last card. He did not play in 1984. But you can tell this is not a commemorative card. There's no mention of that kind of type of card here. All the career stats are the same as any other card from this set. So I do consider this his last card. Now these are all very good condition, grade worthy perhaps, but I don't plan on sending these in anytime soon. Actually, I want to take that statement back when I said grade worthy. Because to be honest, any card is grade worthy. Depends on how you feel about the card and whether you personally have a connection with it, no matter what condition it's in. Or don't get any cards graded at all. The ball is in your court to decide. Keep them as is or send them in. But that's a whole different discussion. But yeah, I wanted to just check in real quick. I have so many cards I want to show you guys. But I wanted to keep this video relatively compact and short. I'm already at 16.5 minutes, so. But yeah, check out these channels that I mentioned earlier. Terrific content. Links to their channels in the description box. So there we go. Thank you to all the new subs and returning ones and returning viewers, new viewers for that matter. People out there that tune in really keep me going. You know, the more the interaction with my videos gives me new ideas on what I can show. I don't like sticking to one particular type of cards because honestly it does get monotonous on my end of things. So your support really gets my mind racing on other topics to cover. So thank you all. Even though I'm the one making the videos, you are all there to make contributions to my channel just by checking them out and commenting. So thank you, thank you, thank you. But stay tuned for more card content and other things that have to do with this great game of baseball and other sports as well. So thanks for stopping by, and I'll be talking to you soon. Everybody, be safe and take care. See you later.